In this part 2 video, we will continue with a demonstration of remote deployment of services. Look at the actual components involved. M-address is the client form we will use. As you can see, is a single entity painted with that country ID field being painted, which you normally wouldn't do, except for the fact that we're going to use a val rep to populate it instead of painting an up entity. Here we can see the activate statement referred to using a local component variable, and we sort that list when it comes back from that service, do the val rep on that, and then we actually reveal it. Service component, country SVC, looks like this. Just a country entity painted, and a single operation get list with a single output parameter that contains a list created by this put list items ID statement. That's clearly done after the retrieve of that data. Returning to the M-address form, we can now test it here in this development environment as a client. And even though this is blank now, we should see in the country drop-down list the sorted list of countries that were returned by that country SVC component. Of course, we can return data as normal. Looking over at the log file that's been created, we can see that both the m-address.frm and the country SVC .svc file are both found locally in the development folder. So now I can simulate the deployment of that component. And I will need to edit my application file to uncomment the relevant sections. Save that. And I'll also show the Windows Task Manager. You can see there are numerous U routers running from some of the other Uniface products installed on this server, but there are no userver.exe processes running at this stage. So this time, if we start up our client runtime environment, I can just show that we're going to execute the component that will form M-address, and we can see that the use server has already started because it was called before the edit statement, and the countries are all populated as we expect. We have the same result, but we now have that country SVC process running remotely. Note that even though I exit the application, the use server remains waiting and will be activated and will execute components next time the U router receives a message to execute something on that UST. Finally, we'll have a look at the My Server log, and we can see that as the presentation showed earlier, the country SVC is indeed coming from the deployment environment, and we have got that USRB SVC license feature checked out as well. And that concludes this demonstration video presentation of how to deploy a remote Uniface service. Thank you.